never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a bitch, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you?
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Brooklyn Bulls. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Brooklyn Bulls. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Brooklyn Ball Club. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How did they do handling adversity?
To throw is Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lee. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll hand it down to Geis, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a second and just 3.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just...
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Quan Alexander in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll run it here. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. Touchdown! A big play there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in the well. Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to... And Abdullah lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. A gain of 3, second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing is Allen on third. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes the Texans now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Rodgers to throw on second down. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Quan Alexander in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Rodgers. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden. It's Brooklyn football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A big rush by the Texans, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
And however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I got a kick out of wide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Allen now on first down. Going deep downfield for Ross. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there. 51 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people in.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Rodgers to throw. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
third down. Here's Geis. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the second quarter. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
That good for 22 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And some room to work. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. If second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jarrad Davis coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
319!
A handoff to Abdullah. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. The tackle made by Derek Rivers.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Myles Garrett in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained. But that's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
This is fielded at the 27. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys that may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And this offense is running away with this one. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
58.
The 2nd down run for Abdullah. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Quan Alexander in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive...
Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Breaks the tackle now with Alley. And touchdown! A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got 0 benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Rodgers now on first down. Lee's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Jarrad Davis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go.
play action. Allen. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the guns. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Extending the arm.
Oh, yes.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And, yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Sturgis for the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team here, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA